All right, so a lot of you guys have been wanting a video on laning and wave manipulation. So today we're going to talk about the most basic way to win lane without killing anyone, right? And it's called pushing. And note that you can't push every game. You can only push when they can't stop you. So what we mean by that is, let's say they have a Kalista, Thresh, and an Elise, and you're playing like Vayne Janna. And if you push against them, they're going to flash on you and there's no way you can get out, right? That would be an example of you can't push to apply pressure, right? In lanes where you can push to apply pressure, there's some indicators. One where, they, for some reason, can't go on you 2v2. So let's say in this example, I have a spell shield and he can never hook me. Or examples where he has a Soraka, right? He can't help the gank. Or their jungle is a weak ganking jungler like Kha'Zix or Kayn. Any of these indicators tell you that you can push and they can't stop you, right? And one thing to note as we are doing this strategy is, in this video, these guys are autofilled bot lane, right? So you might say, hey, why are you showing us this? Isn't this pointless because they don't know how to play bot lane? And yeah, that's why we're showing you, is because they don't know what to do against this pushing strategy. So in your games, if you're like below masters, this is very effective, right? If you can do this correctly, this is very effective. Make sure, but the number one thing to realize when you're doing this is to not die to the jungler when you do this. All right, so there are gonna be several rules we're gonna cover when you are using this pushing strategy. All right, one is that if you don't know where the jungler is always bot. Okay, and if they're bot, you don't want to trade. So while you're pushing, don't trade. And two is that you're usually safe from ganks if they can't force on you, if you have full HP and flash, right? These are your indicators for telling you whether or not you can survive a gank, right? So you want a hard shove, you want to, absorb jungle pressure slash, if their jungle doesn't come bot, you're going to get a CS lead, right? So you can win bot by yourself. But basically, if you can do this without making mistakes, you're going to be really hard to beat in lane, right? So we're going to watch this. We're just applying our matchup where Janna wants to poke and they want to catch us, right? So easy clap. He lost a lot of health. That's what feels bad. You should probably start Dorn Shield against Janna if you're liable to get poked. So we're just going to do exactly what we said, is just hard push. At no point in time are they going to be able to gank us, all right? So how do we hard push? Auto attack on cooldown. And it's good to note that while you are auto-attacking on cooldown, what we mean by that is just auto-attack as much as possible. You don't want to lose minions. So if you think you're going to lose a minion, you're going to pause. And then last hit, and then continue. See how I paused here? So I can get this minion. And then we're going to go back to scheduled programming, right? Just auto-attack on cooldown. Good habits to practice in lane while you're doing this is right before you auto-attack, or as you're auto-attacking these minions, right? As you kill this, there's nothing going on here. So you look at the map. You say, where's their jungle, right? You can do that pretty much the whole lane phase. You can even say, where's their mid laner, because the mid laner is going to roam too, depending on their mid laner. So, yeah, Tristana has grass. That's kind of awkward. You can go for some poke damage, I guess, or some free hits if they walk up too close. And you can watch me here. I'm just auto attacking on cooldown, right? One effective way to auto attack on cooldown is to not auto attack the minions your minions are focusing, but rather a minion that they're not focusing. So let's say your minions are trying to kill the enemy cannon, hit the enemy range minion, and that'll help you push without losing minions, right? Here we're just testing him. We're like, oh, does he, how is he gonna throw hooks? And then of course he goes for the auto cancel on the cannon, so he got read like a book and they lost a lot of health. So this is just how you can apply pressure after you push, right? So different ways to get a lead after pushing. Thank you, Saber Dota, for the sub. There are several things you can do after you push this wave in. The classic is poke them on their tower. So Brand, Soraka, whatever poke champion you got, just throw stuff at them when they're trying to last hit. Or even hit the tower for plates, right? Plate damage. You can even go for Scuttle Crab Ward, or even deep wards, right? Or even camp bushes. There's a lot of options you can do, but know that all of these come from being able to push first. So here we see Kha'Zix. We don't care. He's definitely not coming bot, right? So we're just gonna hard push. You can also note that we have, let's say if I didn't touch these minions from before, we can kind of let it push into us and then zone the hell out of them. But unfortunately, I touched these minions, so that option is not available One thing to note about pushing is that you can't just randomly do it every game. All right, if you're gonna die to the jungle when you push, you can't push because then you're just omega throwing, right? You're just you're just giving away the game. So it's very important to know exactly, can you push? Can you get away with pushing? And should you push before you touch these minions? Because once you push, you can't unpush. You know what I mean? Once you start pushing, you can't unpush. So the damage to the minions is already there. You can't heal their minions, unfortunately. That would be kind of strange, but interesting as well. So yeah, here you're seeing for some Saber examples we showed you in the Uzi VOD where we go for max range Q. Sterling Manta, thank you for the sub. And we're just going to continue with our game plan. You can see how low they're getting because they're struggling to last hit on their tower and we're just harassing them on their tower. Yo, Jen is even using her tornado to help us out. That's how hard we're pushing, right? We're just hard shoving. So how long do we do this for? What do you guys think? We do this as long as we can get away with it. As long as it keeps being beneficial to us, right? We're going to keep doing it. So we're just taking plates, no problem. And anytime Tristana is looking for a minion, that's your opportunity to go for some kind of max range boomerang, right? Like there, if I had boomerang, or anytime their melee support walks up, an indicator you can hit their melee support is if they're past this tower. Sometimes even here if you're crazy, or depending on the champion you are. But they're past this tower, usually there's a good chance you can hit them without taking tower aggro. And also, don't get like flash flayed or hooked or or flash alley combo or whatever, flash pulverize while you're doing this, because those are common responses because you'll start taking tower if that happens. So definitely be wary while you're doing that. But you see us going for the max range Sivir Q. You'll know this if you've seen the Uzi VOD review, that this is a common Sivir pattern, is making sure you throw it when they're max range and not when they're medium range, unless you're throwing an auto attack first. So let's keep watching. You can see they're just getting lower, and one of the common outcomes of just hard pushing and no one is coming bot to stop us is that they're gonna have to base, right? So if they don't base, then we're just gonna kill them. I mean, yeah, I guess we just kill them, right? So yeah, if they don't base, we're just gonna kill them, and if they do base, they lose a wave because we're pushing, right? So this is our ultimate goal, is gain some kind of advantage while we're pushing. And it's very important to note that you don't want to be missing minions. So you see how I paused there, and I stopped auto attacking so I get these minions, and you saw how I was using the other trick of not focusing the minion my minions were hitting, right? Those are very common tricks to help you push as hard as possible but not lose minions. And then we're just gonna keep pushing until we have some reason to base. I mean, we probably can base here after this wave and let Tristana deal with this. But honestly, Tristana is so low, we can even keep going. I think there's an argument to be said to just base because we're sitting on a lot of money. So this is also a really good outcome where they get so desperate they're calling for help to the point where they need their jungle. They make a bad decision to gank this. There's no way we ever die. 0% chance gank. So there's literally nothing they can do, and this will never work because we're always going to spell shield the hook from Nautilus. We have heal if he has any amount of damage, and then we have flash left over. There's no way, right? Legit impossible. Like, we could be by ourselves, no Janna, and we're still getting out here, right? So this is how you want to make sure that if they gank, you can't die. And part of that is your mindset of, I don't know where their jungle is as you're killing these minions, and you say, if they try and trade with me because we're pushing, because if they get rid of your HP or no longer full HP, you can actually die to damage, right? Then you say, we back off, we don't trade. Their jungle is here. Their jungle could be here, right? Or TP shenanigans, or mid lane roam, whatever. So you'll watch me have some kind of slight misstep, honestly. Or you could say 300 IQ bait, where I stepped forward a little bit. Remember, we don't want to trade when we don't want to trade when we're pushing and they're ganking us. But in this case, this is just a genius bait, I guess, because our Warwick is here. We're trying to get them to gank. So even if Warwick's not here, let's say Warwick is topside. Let's say Warwick is topside and he's not bot to counter gank this, because counter gank is just too juicy. It's not gonna happen all the time. He's killing Scuttle and he's invading and he's gonna take pressure. He's gonna make pressure topside. He's winning the jungle matchup because this guy's wasting his time ganking, right? So that's the benefit to getting ganked and not dying. That's definitely worth your flash, winning the jungle matchup, right, guys? So we can keep watching. It's very important to know that it's impossible to die. That's the only reason why we're doing this. If we can die and we do this, that's a big no-no, okay? Slight misplay here, but on average, this is winning so hard, it doesn't matter too much. But it is good to note, it's a good rule of thumb, a good habit to, when you are in a winning situation, if you're winning so hard that you don't need to use abilities, don't use abilities. So what I mean by that is here, when Tristana jumps in, right? Let me show you. Right here. Right here. Okay, this is winning so hard that if we auto attack only, we win. And if we save our Q, if they try and flash away, we can run them down. But I had like a knee-jerk reaction to Qing her in the face because it was point blank. You should actually save your abilities here so that, you know, when she does flash, we can go after them, right? But anyways, I digress. We're going to take the plate, then we're going to base. And then we're just going to come back and we're going to do the same thing, right? Did we lose flash? No. So we're going to come back and do the exact same thing. One thing to mention is that as you're doing this, this can change past level 6. Your matchup can actually change past level 6. So you have to reevaluate. So let's say level 6 comes around. We have Janna ulti and Sivir ulti available, and they have Tristana ulti and Nautilus ulti. So Nautilus ulti will help them start a fight. So if he flashes, we have to be afraid of hook and ulti at the same time because spell shield can only block one, right? That would be the main concern there. So maybe something like if he flashes, we pop ulti immediately as our answer, or maybe keep minions in between us, or even say something like we will block the hook and use ulti and run away from Nautilus ulti, right? Any kind of answer you can come up with is totally fine, right? I feel so safe here. I can just 1v2, right? All I care about is making sure I block the Nautilus hook and I can 1v2. It's important to note that against Tristana specific, do not let her get this bomb reset no matter what. This bomb reset is the most important thing about Tristana when she jumps in, right? Do not give it to her no matter what, which is why you see us just running straight. And then we're just going to turn around after the bomb explodes. That way she doesn't get max damage and she doesn't get her jump reset, right? So that's also a common pattern if you remember from our Uzi video. Auto attack, land the first part of Q is worth, right? So watch this, right? We queued first and then auto attacked, but you get the idea, right? You auto attack in a queue. And then back to scheduled programming, no problem. I think we have bloodline, so we have no sustained issues here. Yeah, Doran's blade is good enough too. You know, again, can we get ganked? We're close to full health, not quite full health, but I would say reasonably can get away from a gank, especially with flash. So good to go, right? Indicators that tell us we can get away from a gank. Remember that these indicators are mostly for 2v3. So if it's 2v4, 2v5, you're probably gonna need more than flash and full HP. You're gonna need something special. But yeah, we're just gonna keep going to this hard push, right? And then anytime you want something, max range Q. So this basic strategy is gonna work against people who have no idea what to do, right? And if you have no idea what to do when you're against this, when you're in this situation, let's say you're pushing, and you're like, what are they gonna do? I have no idea. How do you even beat this? And they beat you. Go watch it so you can copy them. You can study why they beat you, right? And you can use it in your games. In order to counter this strategy, the most common counter is to push again, right? Is counter push. They push, you push. So you keep it in the middle, right? Somehow find a way to leverage your matchup to make sure that you can you cannot lose as hard. So here you'll see a dirty trick that a lot of ADC mains would do is get the tower to one hit, and then if you kill this tower, he's gonna pick up like these few minions, these 3 or 4 minions. So what you do is just let the tower live and then let the tower kill your minions before you kill the tower. It's a really dirty trick that honestly it matters a little bit, but honestly it's more of a psychological damage thing where they're like, holy shit, he just denied me some more minions. Feels bad, man. But yeah, you can see how effective this strategy is. This is how you win lane. Cookie cutter strategy to winning lane without having to somehow randomly kill them, okay? Getting advantages slowly but surely on every wave, right? In this example, it was just straight up poke and tower chip damage. So other examples you'll see invades or helping your jungle take Scuttle Crab or even roams if your supports like Alistar or Thresh or Blitzcrank or whatever. So yeah, definitely try this out. Remember, the main rule is you cannot die to the jungler gank when you do this. If you do, it's a disaster, which is why you can't just randomly do it all the time, all right? So indicators you can do this: weak jungle, weak early jungle, and their support has no way to force on you. Can't help with the jungle assist, right? And if they do have a way to force on you, let's say I was playing Kai'Sa, then when Nihilus goes for his flash hook, I will have to use my flash. This is why the reason why I didn't have to use flash the whole time is because I have a spell shield, right? So Sivir is double safe. But if they do have some way to force, remember you gotta flash it. So Morgana flash bind, you gotta flash it when the jungle gank comes along, right? So let me know what you guys think. I hope that this helps. This is your default winning lane strategy. That's just wave management based and not some part of it is matchup based, but really wave management based. And if they have no idea what to do, this is just free lane. All right, I'll come up with a video of how to win the game out of lane, but that'll come probably tomorrow or the next day. So let me know what you guys think. I hope you enjoyed. Yeah, let me know in the comments below. As always, I would like to say thank you to my Patreon supporters, Crazn, Qwelz, Ultra Divinus, Kjeldsen, and everyone else at Patreon. You know, we have some spicy benefits like wait, let me look these up real quick. Spicy benefits like, you know, having early release content or your credits in a video description, right? You got some Patreon hangouts. Shit. Also want to thank everyone who's contributing to the Camelot bounties. We've had a lot of Camelot bounties come up. Most notably ones where we do, you know, replay reviews of Uzi or Kog'Maw. Yeah, I think it's a good way to get content out to you guys, and the content that you guys want. So in fact, you know, today's video is kind of another bounty where someone wanted another installment of Challenger ADC's Guide 2 and then anything. So this is going to be the laning slash pushing strategy in lane. So yeah, I hope you guys continue to support me, and thanks for watching. As always, we wouldn't be able to do this without all you guys, everyone out there. Don't feel bad if you can't contribute. Just watching is honestly a big deal, right? And if you have no money, spread the word. All right, thanks for watching, guys.